Hi, I'm Sergeant speaking with Earthwalk Primitive. Just had my tea for the morning, so it's time to get to work here. I'm going to go over a short little video today with you about a trapping technique. I haven't really done much trapping at all on any of my videos, so I guess we can consider this the first trapping video. I want to go over you a quick a deadfall trap. It's easy to set up. It's a two-stick deadfall trap. As opposed to the figure 4, which is very effective. I'm not knocking that trap at all. The two-stick deadfall trap is a lot quicker to set up, and which is definitely something you want to keep in mind with traps, because trapping is a low percentage means of procuring food, which means you have to get that trap set up in the right way, bait it the right way, get it set up in the right location where you know there's going to be an animal or a critter coming through that area, and just percentage is very low as opposed to other means of obtaining food. So trapping is, when you go to set up traps, it's not just one trap you need to set up. You need to set up multiple traps and many avenues of approach as far as game trails and activity that you see prevalent in the area for animals. So this is definitely a quick way to do it. Definitely a little quicker than sitting there whittling out the figure 4 and getting this is simply 2 sticks and a piece of rock, and very quick and easy to make. So we're going to go over that here in a second. So stay with me. Okay, so what we needed for the 2-stick deadfall is obviously needed 2 sticks. I found 2 green sticks, something I know it's not going to break or give away on underneath the weight of the rock. Got my cutting tool, got my Mora to be able to fashion the sticks. Then I got myself a large rock. It's a pretty wide, large rock. This is what I prefer to use to make a deadfall. One, because of the space it's going to cover. You're obviously going to have your bait and your stick in the center, so it's got a good bit of space to cover, especially for large animals. Something to them a chance to wiggle out. Another reason why I like rocks, a lot of people will use logs and deadfalls, or logs and wood and whatnot, is logs do have a tendency to roll. 2, they might not necessarily be heavy enough to hold something down. Most deadfalls are not going to kill some animals just by dropping on them. This would probably kill a mouse by dropping on it, but if a larger something like an opossum or whatnot will crawl underneath this necessarily is not going to kill it just from the shock. It's going to be the weight smothering that animal and until it suffocates, and that's what's going to kill it. So we want something that's guaranteed going to be heavy enough to be able to do that. If you just put wood down there, it's just going to leave that animal alive. It could wiggle and roll, and like I said, wood it might have a tendency to roll away. That wood can just roll off and it would be ineffective. So I prefer to use large rocks. What I did, I got 2 sticks. First thing you want to do is obviously you want to measure your sticks by figuring out how far you need that deadfall. This is my base stick, and you can see I pretty much got it so it stays about that high off the ground. Measured it, cut a stick down, then took that one end of the stick, just with my knife I just rounded off that tip. That's the bottom, that's the base, that's what's going to be in the actual ground. It's not going to be in the ground, but sitting on the ground. Don't want it to point, because then it might dig into the ground, and if you have it digging into the ground, then that's just going to hold your trap up, and even if the bait stick gets moved off, this is still going to be stuck in the ground, so it's still going to support your rock up. So you don't want to carve that into a point or anything. I just have it rounded off so it doesn't stick. Now, on the top portion, as you can see, I don't know if you can see it good in the camera, I just shaved the top portion at an angle. So like I said, this is what's going to be holding this rock up at an angle. So you see I didn't need to put a notch. All I needed to do was just shave from one side to the other in an angle. Let's knock my camera over. Alright, now for the second stick, the bait stick, a little bit shorter of the base stick. And I just sharpened a point to put the bait on, plain and simple, self-explanatory. Now for the other portion, this is the portion that's going to be between the rock and the prop stick, the base stick. You can see what I did was I shaved it on both ends down to a sliver. So it's just a little sliver of wood. As flat and level as I could possibly make it. As you can see, it's pretty level between my fingers. Alright, so now. That's finished. Put my knife away. It's the last cut I need to make. So you only got simple rounding the end off, shaving that tip off, tip for the bait stick, and then shaving that down to a base. When you set this up, this is how this is going to sit. That's why you want this at an angle. This is propping your rock up. This stick here, make sure I got it in the camera. This stick here is going to be propping the rock up. This bait stick is going to be setting between the prop stick and the rock itself. That's why it's shaved down like that to a small little flat point. So basically what you're going to do is, I'd like to take my stick and just hold it. The way it's going to set underneath the rock, I'll just sit there and hold it with my fingers. Take my rock, place it up. You can move the bait, you can move everything around to get it adjusted. It's kind of hard for me to talk and do this at the same time, so I'm just going to go ahead and get it set up. Okay, a good way to set this up first, to test it out, take your prop stick, find a spot where you know it's going to sit, and hold that rock up. Alright, there we got a good spot. That's where I know I'm going to place it. Just take your bait stick then, slide it up underneath there, then place your rock back on top of there. You might have to adjust it a little bit. Took my gloves off, they were just getting in the way. There we go. Alright, there we go. So it could take some adjusting sometimes. Figuring out a good spot to put that stick. You know, you do only have two sticks propping it. Well, one stick propping it up. Now you got your bait stick in there. This is a pretty effective trap. There's less moving parts, pretty quick and easy. Critter comes in, hit that bait stick, boom. And down it goes. Let's go ahead and set it up again and show it again. Earlier what I was doing wrong, it took me long. I was setting up my bait stick with the trigger a little bit too low. You want to have it up a little higher. It gives a little bit more pressure on the prop stick. There we go. That stick up a little bit higher, like I was saying, gives a little bit more pressure on the prop stick, a little bit more friction. I had it down a little too low. That's why it was giving me a hard time setting up. Trying to keep my hands out of there. Simple as that. That's the two-stick deadfall. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you go out and practice this. It's an easy trap to go out and figure out and practice. And so you can tell me, go ahead and practice this, and leave me some comments to see how you guys liked it. Maybe if any of y'all actually managed to try it and use it and actually catch something. Post me a comment, let me know. I'm sorry, I'm speaking with Earthwalker Primitivist. Thank you.